right. Should be up and running here on both platforms and good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for February 25th, 2021. Q's down 3.5, SPY down 2.4. Last few days, as you've noticed, the range here on these last few days are getting pretty big. Okay, the steady moves higher are no longer, it seems to be, the norm. Okay, now coming into today, all right, we recognized that we were pretty extended here on the hourly, but a pretty bullish move that we got. And so the expectation was sell-offs to be buying opportunities. And today, that was not the case in the Qs and the SPY. This ended up being a power trend day down. Now, it's pretty rare we get a power trend day up and followed immediately by a power trend day down. Okay. And as you might recall, we had this little bit of an attempt to break out, this little bit attempt to break down, and then kind of no follow through in either way. And what I was anticipating is that we're going to develop some kind of range and then perhaps go into some kind of sideways pattern. Right now, that still remains to be seen because we don't really have the range. Now, we did kind of do like a double bottom today on the SPY, Qs as well, kind of back to the lows, but this is pretty bearish. The negation of those 2 days of buying is pretty bearish. So going into tomorrow, and more likely than anything beginning of the week next week, we are looking for the next retracement to the 20 MA as a selling opportunity, as a shortable opportunity. Okay, pretty bearish reversal, okay, that we got today, right? And like I said yesterday, I thought this was pretty bullish. Not a good time to be starting longs, but pretty bullish. Okay, when you have something that's bullish, gets completely negated the next day or relatively quickly, all right, we are looking at more bearish momentum. It's kind of like tug of war, right? You see one side attempt to pull and then get pulled all the way kind of back to the center line. So, going off of today's sell-off, now we do have quite a big red bar here, significant sell-off. If we gap down tomorrow, I think we will get bought, okay, just because we'll be extended down into support. I think if we do some kind of gap up, I'm expecting a more muted move, or if we kind of open flat, I think we'll probably continue a little bit lower, but still not get that much follow through just because we're so extended down, right? We talked about it here in anticipation of a similar thing here because we got the gap down. This what, like I told everyone in the morning, not a good time to expect long. I'm expecting lower because we kind of are doing this break. But if we do gap down again, we're going to be gapping down and extended into support. So, especially tomorrow, I think that'll be like the easiest bias. Okay, if we get another like gap down tomorrow, I think look for a buying opportunity. But it'll confirm the long-term bearish bias. Okay, so you can see the daily starting to weaken here, starting to start that downtrend. Weekly has yet to do so, but daily has to do it first in order for the weekly to follow, and then the weekly has to do it first before the monthly will follow. Okay, so going into tomorrow, we'll see what the market does. Going to start off with a neutral bias. If we gap down, bullish just for the open, but long-term bearish. Okay. So that is the plan for tomorrow. Pretty volatile day. Pretty volatile stuff. We may not need to go over it, but I'll just show this to you anyway. What I was telling the room is that when we get this kind of like sloppy price action, a lot of negation, like big green bars followed by big red bars, and then, sometimes back and forth and back and forth. We had something like that here in 2019. Okay, so if you kind of go through these bars, and kind of follow them, right, you can see, right, and just like we talked about, if you're already extended down and get a gap down, it's probably going to get the bounce. But like you get a big green bar like this, you would expect maybe rest next day, maybe a little bit of follow through, but big green bar like that, you don't expect it's going to get a gap down and then completely negate the bar. And then you would think on something like that, pretty bearish, right? Well, then it goes right all the way back up, gap up and then another gap up, right? So, when we're in some of these really sideways trends after a long, grind higher like we had before, they can get pretty sloppy. Okay, and so that's what again, you look at this, you get a wide range red bar here, definitely looks lower, right? So when we get into this kind of sloppiness, what I found was the easiest thing to do here was just follow the range, and then once we're out of the range, then the bias becomes, clear. Okay, so, it's a little bit too early to tell. We only have these like 3 bars really so far to work with, just as far as kind of the back and forth price action. Very volatile, very sloppy. And so, we'll have to kind of wait and see tomorrow how this shakes out. Okay, but gave you kind of the scenarios on a gap up, no gap, and then a gap down. Okay. All right, let's go over some of today's plays here. Very first play right out the gate. This was the favorite gap down, was the end tap. Unfortunately, on this one, I didn't get filled. Gave it to intro under low of the day. You probably could have anticipated a little bit on the end tap. I really didn't think it was going to be that much of a problem to get filled on this when it broke the lows. But part of it, is on my end. I only gave it a 5-cent limit, and that was a mistake. I thought maybe if it triggers, I don't want to get filled too late underneath the lows, and then I thought I may give a little bit bounce back and I can get filled on that because sure, this will be on an uptick. And it just never looked back. I think there are probably some opportunities here to get back in, but it just felt so late, especially in comparison to the original entry. Yeah, this is actually okay here, even in the afternoon. So, a couple mistakes there. Just didn't give it enough on the limit, and also wasn't that persistent in getting more or trying to get it again later on the end tap there. Okay. So on the end tap, what a bummer. That would have been big. I don't think off of this play, I don't think I'd still be in it till the end of the day. I think 4Rs is in here somewhere, and I think that I would have just taken whatever I had left at that point. So I don't think I would be in it all the way till end of day. Although, if you wanted to hold a runner, the runner does hold. Hourly, bar by bar, all the way till the end. And then you close at the end of the day. So if you've read the kind of all-day hold, all-day trade article, kind of what we're looking for. There's 4 criteria, and then how to manage it. And this actually meets all 4. Okay, 4 out of 4. And then, like I said, yes, coming into today, yesterday I was saying, I was expecting that sell-offs will give us a buyable opportunity. So I was expecting some bounce here at support here. But I wasn't going to play the market. I was going to play something with relative strength. So I did give this Angie a shot here over lunch on this base breakout here. We did get new highs. Okay. Did get new highs. The breakout just didn't go far enough. And then the market wasn't ready really to bounce. So we just killed it under the inside bar. I think it's like less than a third hour loss. It was like a small loss. I just wanted to see if we get some kind of follow through with the market. I think this will work. But you can see, look, the volume picked up, and then we got an inside bar. That's just regular part of the plan. Kill it after the inside bar. Okay, so small loss on that on the Angie. So that was kind of trying to play that with the market timing. But then market proved, and that was like around here. Yeah, it was after this extended move down. I was looking to play something that was basing at the highs. Market proved to still want to make another flush lower, but that really changes what our expectation is for tomorrow and Monday. Okay. All right. Hope you guys did well today. I think if you're able to catch something at the open, doesn't have to be the end tap. Could have been the PING. Some of the things we looked at here, even later into the day. ESTC here was a base breakdown that we found kind of right before breaking for lunch right here. Yeah, I wasn't that bearish on the market, just kind of missed out, and then, made a mistake, not giving enough of a limit there on the end tap in the morning. So a little bit of a costly mistake, but we'll be back at it tomorrow, all right, and see what we get tomorrow. All right, have a good rest of the day. I will talk to you tomorrow.